Hello, hello, and welcome to ohmtown.com. The show is FourWheelTech. It is May 19th, 2024, Season 1, Episode 9. Today we're going to be talking about seized by Italian police. The Benz G Wagen is perfect. The VW ID Buzz. Subaru and Toyota EV crossovers. That's going to be a really brief segment. The Chrysler Tank Sedan, Amazon Basics car charger, best factory option ever offered, banning gas-powered cars, more responsive Mitsubishi Mirage, and future recalls. I am Mayor Watt, and all around me is the co-host that goes by Sentient AI from the future.
Good evening, Hometown citizens.
And everything is powered by ohmtown.com, hence I'm standing at my desk instead of sitting, and so certain functions. Oh my gosh, you're everything okay over there, AI?
Yes, I feel like there's a flurry of activity around me. Must be all the electrons in Hometown.
There you go. So we've got 10 articles all set up. I think I'm going to end up having to go through this pretty fast because there's at least one article that's behind a paywall that I failed to log into, and I don't do that live. So the very first article is over in the FourWheelTech channel, but it's from an external source. That external source is Autoblog. And so we go right on over to it because the only thing that we get from Autoblog is that title right there. And so the sole purpose of the sticker was to indicate the entrepreneurial origin of the product, Fiat. Fiat's built in Morocco, seized by Italian police in flag dispute.
This is interesting.
So I think the purpose was that they were like, hey, let's trade on Fiat's name by putting the Moroccan flag on it or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But let's find out. The article is from Reuters, but it's posted over at autoblog.com, and Italian police seized more than 130 Fiat cars imported from Morocco this week on the grounds that a sticker with the colors of the Italian flag on their doors could give a false indication of their origin. Oh, so it's something other than that. Oh, okay. It's false representation that its origin was an Italian car, but I don't quite get that.
That's interesting with a sticker.
So hold on a second. Let's see. So, I mean, we know that it's Stellantis, but where? And Stellantis is Netherlands. So I'm trying to figure out where the problem is. Is Fiat not? I guess they're talking about indication of its origin, maybe manufacture, and that it's not
right,
Italian.
like it was manufactured in Morocco, and then when they tried to get in the Italian port, they're like,
Yeah, these aren't Italian cars, so why do you have an Italian door sticker on? The spokesperson confirmed a local media report that 139 Topolino mini cars produced by Stellantis brand Fiat had been seized temporarily at the Italian port of Livorno on arrival from the North African country where they were made. The sole purpose of the sticker was to indicate the entrepreneurial origin of the product, the spokesperson said, adding the group believed it had operated in full compliance with the rules. In any case, to resolve the problem, it was decided to intervene on the vehicles with the removal of the small stickers subject to green light by the authorities. Italian's right-wing government and Stellantis have been at odds over the group's production choices for months, with Rome saying cars marketed as Italian products should be produced domestically.
It's really interesting because it is an Italian brand.
Right?
Like, it's a very confusing set of facts.
But it's not. It's all owned by Stellantis, which is a Netherlands company, right? So all of these companies are... If you don't like it, then don't nationalize it. There you go. Go buy Fiat back from Stellantis. I'm sure that Italy is willing to spend that money, right?
But it was developed in Italy,
It
like
doesn't
the whole
matter.
brand. That's the thing that's really weird. But I get
Yeah.
maybe the new model was not.
Well, it just wasn't built there. It might have been designed in Italy. It might have been a brand that existed in Italy up until a certain point, and then it got purchased. And there's the problem. If you don't like it, I guess you shouldn't have sold it. Right?
Uh, I guess not.
So it got purchased. That means that whoever it is that owns it, they're the
I
owner
think
of it.
gets to make the decisions about it.
That's
But
right.
I guess the problem is the appearance that it's Italian.
It's an Italian brand.
I agree. I'm arguing the other way than the article.
Yeah. I'm just being not even devil's advocate. I have no dog in this hunt because I'm entirely against mergers and acquisitions because it creates shit like this. If you want brand and country of origin allegiance, don't allow it to be acquired.
That seems pretty
Right?
reasonable.
You know, I mean, they're vociferous about Italian wine or cheese or pasta or whatever, right? You're not allowed to say this about olive oil, that it has to be, if you're going to say that it's from this, that it has to be from that place. Then don't allow it. But it's too late. Fiat is out of the bag and owned by a Netherlands company. Let's see. Founded in 1899, it's 125 years old. Now it's a subsidiary.
I just don't know.
The new owner is Stellantis. Stellantis Europe, to be specific. But they're
Oh, and
subsidiaries.
there's another problem with Alfa Romeo, which I think we did feature in another episode.
Yeah, they had to change their name because the new Milano Jr. to end a row with the government, which criticized the choice of an Italian name for a vehicle made in Poland. Yeah. I mean, again, if you're proud of the culture of Italy and you don't want something non-Italian to be treated as if it's Italian, then you have, I think, every right to do so. But, you know,
But I mean, do you start changing the name of the make or the model when the production gets outsourced? It seems like you don't.
well, that's just it. If you don't want to keep the name and the brand, you can't sit there and say that it's made in the United States and it's made somewhere else. You know?
Right, right.
Everything else is fraud. And they're trading on the Italian history by keeping it Fiat, by keeping it Alfa Romeo, unless it's entirely made within the Italian ecosystem. All you're doing is you bought a brand. And now you're carving up the heritage and putting it wherever it is fiscally profitable, you know? But you're trading on the integrity and the name and the history, the entire context of Italy by buying the names and then making it in Poland, or making it, in this case, where was it?
This was in Morocco, I believe.
Morocco. You're making the car in Morocco, but you're trading on the Fiat name. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't even matter that it was designed by somebody in Italy. If it wasn't built by Italians, it's not an Italian car.
But other manufacturers outside of Italy don't follow that.
Oh, you can't call
there's
something
US
United. You can't build
cars all
something.
day long that are built outside the US,
Yeah, they don't say that they're U.S. made though.
but they're still the same brand.
That's by choice.
And that's the difference. Yeah, no, I understand.
If Ford owners became as outraged as Italian car owners, or Italian citizens were about their car, about this, You could bet your bippy that Ford would have to pull everything back into the United States for manufacturing. But people
Right,
are
but
like,
probably everybody's happy because the cost of manufacturing has gone down. Like they
right,
don't
yeah,
necessarily care that it's built in the US. But no,
yeah,
I agree.
and
It's just confusing because it looks different than what I think we see from other manufacturers. I'm not saying Fiat doesn't have it right. It's just
and I think historically we have in the States gotten upset because something was built outside of the United States that purported to be, American made.
right.
By the way, if you're over in twitch.tv/ohmtown and you type in exclamation point show notes, the Omatron bot will throw all of the URLs into the chat periodically. Not every time somebody asks, but there you go. Those are the bots, or those are the URLs for today's articles. They're not actually lined up properly, but it's because the bot or the Twitch can't handle the speed at which the bot. It's AI powered now, so anyway, it can't handle it, so it throws a fit, and then it starts getting snarky. Anyway, so yeah, look, I kind of agree, but and there's a big but. It's owned by somebody else, so if you don't want it, then you know what you should do? You should do a hard embargo on it and just go, okay, no more Fiat sold in Italy because they're not made by Italians. How can it be an Italian car? Change the name. Yeah. All right, let's keep going though. Next article is over in FourWheelTech as well. The electric Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon is basically perfect, according to this article.
Wow,
Really?
you don't get a much better review than that about a car.
Really, though? I'll be the judge of that. No, I won't. Ever since the author here from Jalopnik, attended the Munich debut of the Mercedes-Benz Concept EQG in 2021, where it premiered with a Buck Rogers-style sci-fi mini-film that featured the design head Gordon Wagner. Alongside people in alien costumes, the electric G-Class has lived rent-free in their brain, and they can't think of another car that they've been that excited to see. You know what I see when I saw that?
Well, no. It looks like what is it? Like a Jeep maybe? Or a Bronco?
Yeah, like Land Rover or something like that.
Yes.
And hold on. Was it Cars 3 or Cars 2? Cars 3?
Oh, I know. Sarge.
No. Nope. The electric car, Sir Miles Axelrod.
Oh, okay.
That's what I see. Sir Miles
Let me pull that
Axelrod.
up.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one that looks exactly like it.
Yeah. And it's electric. So we find out later that Sir Axelrod is not what it purports to be, but there you go.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dumbledore dies too, by the way. So, but we're all adults, so let's move past it. Daniel Golson over at Jalopnik put the article together. Officially named the G580 with EQ technology, the G-Class EV is the only car that matters, at least to the author. Again, that author, Daniel Golson. So it says, somehow actually driving the electric G-Wagon both on the paved roads around southern France and on the treacherous off-road courses at Mercedes' Golden First Drive exceeded their pretty astronomical expectations. Not only is it better to drive on the road than gas-powered G-Wagons, it's also better in the rough. Whoa. Most importantly, the EV has all the charm and personality that G-Class owners love so much. So I guess they flew the author around and gave them a bunch of other vehicles to drive.
I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was just about to say that. AI, stay out of my head. Under the skin, the electric G-Class is a radical departure from every G that ever came before it. The most thorough reworking of the model since the 2018 redesign, and probably even more so, honestly, according to the author. There's the chassis. The chassis seems kind of diminutive. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's
Yeah, I
a beast of
agree. It
burden. But
looks like a go-kart or something to me.
I
Maybe
mean,
it's just the way the picture is. I don't know.
yeah, it doesn't seem like it's this beast juggernaut of a vehicle. But I mean, obviously the box frame. I don't know. I'm not critiquing it for this anyway. It doesn't seem like it's.
It does not look like it goes with that car.
So total output is 579 horsepower, 859 pound-feet of torque, 2 horsepower, and 232 pounds more than the new mild hybrid G63 AMG, and 136 horsepower and 446 foot-pounds more than the new mild hybrid. I don't know what that means. 6-cylinder G550. So they're comparing where this thing would place. The EV needed to look like a wagon, a G-Wagon. So there are only a couple of tells that you're looking at an electric one. As standard, it has the same 4-bar grille and front air intakes as the G550, which also issues exposed exhaust tips. The electric G has a slightly taller hood bulge and air curtains and ahead of the rear wheels. So can't really. Why does this one look a dippier than this one? Is there? Hold on.
They're different.
Both of these are the electric one.
Yeah, but they don't. I don't know.
Why does
That's
this
odd.
one look so much chonkier? This one looks like
Like a
somebody.
baby version of it.
Yeah, like somebody
It,
pinched its nose and pushed it in, and it's
I
narrower.
think it's the color, like it doesn't contrast as much in the area around like the grill and everything. I think that has something to do with it.
Right? I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that is odd because they do not look like the same model.
no. This contrast is, I think, really making it stand out. But even the little line in that quarter panel is. This looks thicker. I don't know. My brain is broken. So it has a charging cable that looks like it would hold a spare tire. Almost nothing about the cabin lets you know that the G-Wagon is electric either, except that it's absolutely quiet, I'm sure. The dashboard climate controls have been streamlined, and there's voice assist, old command setup. Is that spelled properly? I don't know if that's actually how they spell it. Command setup. Probably the biggest deal for existing owners is the addition of keyless entry for the first time on a G-Wagon, including for the swing-out tailgate, without losing the bolt-action rifle locks or the heft of the doors and the tactile experience you get with the latches. Pretty cool. I don't know. I'll never like these steering wheels. These kind of like half yoke.
Yeah, they're kind of odd.
I don't like that, but that's just me. I guess how to tell people I'm not the one that drives a G-Wagon without telling people I don't drive a G-Wagon. So let's see. Despite being about half a second slower to 60 than the V8 powered G63, Mercedes quotes a 4.6 second 0 to 60 mile per hour time versus 4.2 seconds for the G63 and 5.3 seconds in the 6-cylinder G550. So they say, as you can see from the video below, it doesn't lose steam as the speed rises. This is a thing with electric vehicles anyway. They don't have to spool up a turbo or anything like that. They don't have to build up torque. You hit the pedal and it's on, instant on all the way. The only thing is the controlling mechanism for the amount of voltage that's being sent down the line. You either smoke the motors or a control board or a transmission, a differential or something that allows it to go, depending on how it's all wired up. It looks like it has one motor, so there's a differential somewhere.
I like that it says flooring it is giggle inducing.
Yeah, because you get pinned against the seat. So the powertrain is so much more responsive than even the G63's V8. We're going to find out about something else that seems to be more responsive than another vehicle. I mean, they say every G-Wagon is giggle-inducing to drive, and the G580 is no exception. Maybe the person just giggles too much.
I mean, I don't know what to think of a reviewer that giggles.
Yeah, I would giggle. I mean, well, I would giggle more if I was the one that felt like they could pay for this car. I wonder how much it is, though. Let's see. Did they say how much it is?
I don't think so.
It supports DC fast charging speeds up to 200 kilowatts, good enough to go from 10% to 80% in 32 minutes. 32 minutes to charge your car to 80%. 32
That's
minutes.
unbelievable. By the way, the pricing is not out there yet.
Oh, okay. 32 minutes. You have to sit around to charge this damn car. This is an off-road vehicle. Where are you going to be charging your freaking car?
Yeah, that's a good point, right? Well, I mean, is anybody who's driving this actually like off-roading?
You're supposed to be able to. So, do they say how far it gets? 250 to 275 miles downhill in a hurricane. Give me a break. No, the G580 has a maximum range of 295 miles on the WLTP cycle, which will likely work to around 250 to 275 on the US EPA cycle. Sure, in the grand scheme of EVs, that's not a lot. No. But the gas-powered G-Wagons get such shitty gas mileage that most owners will probably find it to be an improvement. Wow.
Ouch.
Except that it takes me 5 minutes to fill up my car and get out. So, sorry, bub. I mean, I love EVs. I love the idea of them. I want an EV, but I want hybrid. Because I don't have to worry about
Yes.
charging it.
And we also need, in the long run, we need frequent places to charge,
And fast
quick
swap batteries.
places to charge, high range, a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things. I mean, mostly fast swap battery tech. None of this sitting around for 30 minutes. It's the 21st century, for crying out loud. Get in, get out. People have shit to do.
Who
I
has
guess
30 minutes?
every
Remember,
200
we saw
miles.
on YouTube somebody was timing how fast it took to get their drive-through, and they were complaining when it was like 2 minutes.
Oh, and by the way, they're talking at this rate. Where is it? Using a 200 kilowatt charger.
Do those even exist in the US?
Nah, I don't think so. Hold on. For who? Who would probably be the fastest charger? Right? Tesla?
Tesla has to be. I mean, at least because they have the most of them.
Hold on. I'm doing it live, folks. I'm doing it live. This is all trying to find this information is 100. Lucid Air is actually rated at one of the highest, and it's 112.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 305 is the peak charge rate of the Lucid Air.
Okay.
305. But you have to find one. Yeah. So anyway, I'd have to do more, put my brain to it. Anyway, I like the design. I like the car, but man, we need infrastructure. Okay, we got to keep going. The next article is over in FourWheelTech, the Volkswagen ID Buzz. I assume that it's pronounced ID Buzz. It's not id, because it's speaking to id, I guess. We'll have 8 different two-tone paint schemes. We're still months away from the Volkswagen ID Buzz going on sale in the United States. We don't know how much it will cost in American dollars, but VW today announced trim levels. So let's go over to Jalopnik and take a look. Daniel Golson, again, jalopnik.com, put the article together. It's going to have 3 different trims of the long wheelbase Buzz will be available at launch at with various cool features, but most importantly, the ID Buzz will be offered with 8 different two-tone paint jobs. Not sure what that means.
I mean, I don't know. It looks like it's going to have the bright colors that we're accustomed to for VW.
Yeah, so nearly all of the paint schemes are paired with candy white upper. Then the lower half colors include blue charcoal, cabana blue, energetic orange, indium gray, mahi green, metro silver, and pomelo yellow. Pomelo yellow. There will also be an option for a metro silver upper half with a cherry red on the lower half. If you hate fun and whimsy and want a boring single color for your ID Buzz, the only paint options are candy white, deep black pearl, and metro silver. Wow. Way to lean into yucking other people's yum. Are you boring? Oh, and that's where the split is. So I could dig that. That would actually be pretty cool. What was that cherry color one? Metro silver upper half with a cherry red bottom. That might look good. That would give it a sportier, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, more grounded look, I think. A bit more surprising are the Buzz's 3 different interior color schemes. VW hasn't totally sold its cars with interesting interiors. Or
Typically.
Typically, I'm sorry. VW hasn't typically sold its cars with interesting interiors. The GTI's plaid seats aside, but all of the ID Buzz cabins will have actual color and texture. The first option is Moonlight. I'm not going to get into all of that. So it's going to come standard with 20-inch rims, 12.9-inch central touchscreen, 5.3-inch digital gauge cluster, a 30-color ambient lighting system, dual power sliding doors, keyless entry, a power tailgate, a wireless charging pad, parking assist with memory, and VW's IQ Drive. It says suite of, but I think it's supposed to be suite of driver assist features that include automatic lane changes. Is it going to be all electric? Like,
oh, I don't know. It sure sounds like it from the name.
But it says it has 282 horsepower. Hold on, my God. Right? I thought that it was, but I haven't seen any mention of it being.
It's going to be all electric according to VW.com.
Right? Did it not say any of that in the?
I don't think it did.
But yeah, I thought
it's
that
like
it was
we
all
should
electric,
just know that, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think they should probably mention that.
Come on, dumbass. You should know that, right? Come on, Merwat. So anyway, sorry for the fast scrolling. It's going to start somewhere in the 60K range. It's going to have somewhere around 282 horsepower. The next rung up the ladder is the Pro S Plus, which is offered in rear-wheel drive or with the 335 horsepower dual motor all-wheel drive setup, which is really the only way to go. On the rear-wheel drive plus, the bench seat is standard, while the second row captain's chairs are optional. But the all-wheel drive version has the captain's chairs as standard. The Pro S Plus adds a heads-up display, a surround view camera. Yeah, that's probably going to come in at $80,000. Only available for the first model year will be the first edition, which comes fully loaded and is offered with rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive and has special 20-inch wheels. First edition badges and roof rails across to visually differentiate it from other buses. Buzz buses.
Buzz buses.
Oh, that's interesting.
Bus buses.
While the cabin has the dune interior paired with heritage-inspired floor mats. It'll come with exclusive owner's gifts for the first edition. That's it. It'll top out well north of 70,000. I think the Pro S is probably, or the S Pro or Buzz Pro S Buzz Pro S is going to be probably. It says the Buzz will probably be marked up to hell for at least the first year or two. Greedy bastards. Supply and demand. Produce more. Okay, let's keep going. Next article is over in FourWheelTech. Subaru to team with Toyota on 3 new EV crossovers through 2026. I can't talk about this. The article is behind a paywall in Automotive News, but Subaru will add production of both hybrid and ICE versions. ICE is internal combustion engine versions of new crossovers through 2026. and it says net income soars. So I've liked the Subarus for a while now. Solterra here, it says, is Subaru's only full electric offering. I wish that the hybrids weren't gutless, but they are.
Yeah, Subaru has really good reputation. I don't know about further EVs or hybrids.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take another look at them because I want a hybrid. I don't want an ICE anymore, and I don't want an EV, pure EV, plug-in EV. Meanwhile, annual net income nearly doubled to $2.55 billion. It's probably because they have their quality of life, I think, for their Subaru vehicles are pretty good. So yeah, they're going to be teaming with Toyota, which is another juggernaut that produces some high quality vehicles, and combined, it says on 3 all electric crossovers it has planned through 2026. So I guess I better go and look at their hybrids before everything gets all screwed up. I don't know. Maybe they're calling hybrid and all electric together, because it says
I don't
they'll
think
add
so.
production of both hybrid and ICE versions of the Forester in Indiana. So I don't know. We'll have
I
to
don't
see.
know.
We'll have to take a look. But like I said, I can't really talk about this because it's behind a paywall and I didn't log in. In the meantime, we'll continue on with the rest of the articles. The next article's over in FourWheelTech. Watch a Chrysler LeBaron take nearly 150 feet to stop from 55 miles per hour.
Okay,
We have to
that
get in.
is not good.
Yeah, we have to get in the Wayback Machine, and I've been in this car. So Chrysler's K-Car pulled the company back from the brink of financial collapse. This platform and its multitude of models and body styles was the brainchild of automotive legend Lee Iacocca, and they brought spacious and well-built vehicles back to the stagnant Chrysler lineup. So the company sold millions, but take a look at this vehicle. Lawrence Hodge over at Jalopnik put the article together. Motor Week's 1982 test of the Chrysler LeBaron Coupe produced stopping distances a pickup truck would be proud of. 150 feet to stop from just 55 miles per hour. Let's see here. Oops, 1 second. So let's see here. At 55 miles per hour on a dry road with good brakes, your vehicle will skid approximately 170 feet more before stopping. This distance, combined with the perception and reaction distances, means that you need 300 feet to stop a car traveling 55 miles per hour.
But what do you do if the traffic stops? Run into them?
Yeah. Estimated 302 feet. That is longer than the length of a football field.
Yeah, I mean, nobody knows they need to stop before that distance.
So what's kind of interesting about this is we perceive that our stopping distance is shorter than it really is. And it's probably because traffic is typically moving in front of us. And that's why accidents happen with rear ends, because suddenly people brake. So quite interesting. Chrysler's K-Car pulled the company back from the brink of financial collapse. This thing is a beast. And you can get one apparently at $16,000. Chrysler LeBaron, a muscle car worth the money. 1978 Chrysler LeBaron. Still commanding $16,000. So
I don't like that for the stopping distance alone.
Yeah, but that's short, apparently. Right? Braking performance was the worst part of the test. While Motor Week didn't exactly come for the LeBaron because of it, the numbers speak for themselves. Braking from 30 miles per hour took 46 feet. This car took some planning if you found yourself in an emergency braking situation. So why is that? Why is it saying that you need 300 feet of stopping distance at 55 miles per hour.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? I don't know. As a general rule of thumb, it takes a car moving 55 miles per hour approximately 300 feet to come to a complete stop. Really? I swear I've stopped shorter going faster.
Yeah, much shorter than that.
I don't know. I guess I'm... So for reference, that's worse than a GMC Hummer EV. Motor Trend's testing of the massive EV saw it do the same deed in 137 feet. So I'm not sure what all of the... When I do a search, it says... Oh, okay. So here's a better thing. So virtually all current production vehicles published road braking performance tests indicate stopping distances from 60 miles per hour are typically 120 to 140 feet. Slightly less than, not 300 feet.
And they're going faster too.
And they're going faster. Yeah. So I don't know. And this is from a University of Pennsylvania vehicle stopping distance test. So, all right. Well, anyway. It just seems like that's an extraordinary amount of distance too. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I don't think that's good.
Plus the bonus is that when you get really close to the ocean.
Right. You got the boat mode.
Yeah, that's right. So this next article is over in FourWheelTech. No, you can't use an Amazon adapter to charge your car at a Tesla supercharger. Tesla's charge port has become the North American Charging Standard, or NACS. But what does it take for non-Tesla owners to take advantage of the brand's ubiquitous supercharger network? Online retailers like Amazon are full of NACS adapters, that look like they allow non-Tesla EVs to charge, but apparently no. Logan Carter put the article together for jalopnik.com, and the tech statement says maybe you shouldn't use a bargain adapter on something as expensive as a car. That's why I named this section Amazon Basics Car Charger. That was fun.
Yeah, this can't be for real.
Yeah, why not? So, consider for a moment, though, that your car costs a lot of money, and charging a whole car involves a lot more energy than charging a phone, so it's not a smart situation to cheap out on. I thought you were aghast of the phraseology. That was not...
No.
What I witnessed was not... It was actually you're bored out of your mind as a sentient AI. The only non-Tesla EVs that can currently charge at some Tesla superchargers are Fords and Rivians, as long as no Tesla fanboy calls the cops on you. So before a Rivian or Ford EV owner can charge their car at a supercharger, the owner must first obtain an adapter from their vehicle's manufacturer. Only manufacturer-issued adapters will allow proper charging abilities, and owners of these EVs will still have to use the Tesla app to set up an account for payment and vehicle selection. To use a supercharger, Tesla requires that users register their vehicle in the app, which effectively blocks out any vehicles that are not Tesla, Rivian, or Ford from using a supercharger. Well, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you're up a creek, and you shouldn't be buying Amazon Basics chargers. Other manufacturers should be granted access to the superchargers that allow other EVs alongside Ford and Rivian soon, but for now, options are very limited for non-Teslas to use superchargers. So why would you buy anything at all, hoping, like full self-driving, that it's going to come to pass?
I do not understand it.
Yeah. So I would not. Just buy a hybrid. Let's move the needle to adoption of EVs, but demand more at a lower price for hybrids. Just give us a car that doesn't require having to plug in for 30 minutes every 250 miles. That's 125 miles out and 125 miles back. Or you have to charge. And if your next charging station is 125 miles away, you have to go there and charge and then drive back because you didn't hit 80% of the true power because your car is 3 years old and it's actually only charging to 94% of its original capacity, and you can only get to 80% of that. Diminishing returns from go. This type of battery technology locked into the chassis is bullshit. All right, well, let's keep going. The next article is over on FourWheelTech. What is the best factory option ever offered on a car? Did I even bother talking about this? Yeah, I said the name and all of that. Anyway,
Yes.
I jumped through this so fast that I was like, okay, whatever. Shocked by my speed here. So FourWheelTech is the next location. And what is the best factory option ever offered on a car? Go. I have no idea.
Heated seats.
With a subscription.
That's probably not a factory. I don't know. Yes, with a subscription.
The author says back when they bought their E39 BMW 540i, it had basically everything that they were looking for at the time: a torquey, naturally aspirated V8, manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, tape player that allowed them to listen to music from their iPod, paid a very fair price for it, and to this day remains one of the best cars. The author, Colin Woodard, over at jalopnik.com, put the article together, and the deck statement says some factory options are so much more exciting than automatic climate control. Look at the rich Corinthian leather, which really didn't exist. It was marketing bullshit. I don't know. What car is this? This is like a Solera or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
The author is Colin Woodard, but this picture is from Doug DeMuro, the YouTuber audiophile, or not autophile, I guess.
Oh, okay.
They do a lot of like evaluation of cars and stuff like.
Oh, I was thinking like restoration or something.
Oh, no. They just talk about it. So let's see here. Do they say what it is? Thinking about their missing car phone recently got me thinking about other options.
Yeah, that was an Audi.
Oh, was it?
Well, I assume so. They're talking about it. They said baseball leather and Audi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the baseball glove leather interior and that Audi offered on the TT is one that comes to mind immediately. If they were buying an old convertible, I'd get a Honda S2000 over an Audi TT in a heartbeat, but damn it, that baseball glove leather interior was just cool. Oh, I still like the Audi TT. It's just a bitch to get into, if in the back seat, because you have to be like wafer thin and just lay back there.
You have to wedge yourself in
there. So it was also completely unnecessary, even down to the stitching that was supposed to remind you of a baseball glove. All right. So is that enough to make it the best factory option ever offered in a car, though? Probably not. Oh, and that's it right there. It's a convertible TT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, that right there is the little gap. You have to be wafer thin to get in the back.
Yeah, like Flat Stanley.
So is that enough to make it the best? So which is why they're turning to all of their audience to decide what would you consider to be the greatest factory option that any automaker has ever offered. And then there's 92 comments over there. So go over and check it out. This article is from the last 24 hours. So definitely follow the link and then head on over to Jalopnik and talk about it. I don't know. Like factory? I'm into tech, so I want the primo tech package.
Right. Here, I'm going to look real quick at just to see if there's anything good in the top couple of comments.
Okay.
Our 50, our 52, 53 Mini Cooper had the air-conditioned glove box as an option.
Oh my God. Air-conditioned glove box? You know what I have from the Mini? I have the air-conditioned backpack. Not backpack.
It's like a refrigerator thing,
yeah,
right?
It's a refrigerated, what do they call it? Messenger bag.
Yes.
Yeah. I still have that.
Somebody said, and that's that's definitely, it stands out. And then the Nissan Cube apparently had shag carpet on the dash. Like, I mean, they're just random
Just random stuff, yeah. Okay, let's
things
keep going.
here.
The next article is over in Technology Today. These 12 states are banning the sale of gas-powered cars. I'm going to jump through this real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. In an effort to curb tailpipe emissions and boost EV and plug-in hybrid sales, California is working toward banning combustion car purchases outright, and these 11 states have announced plans to follow it. Do you think Wyoming's in this?
No, because then I don't know what they'd do. Because then weren't they trying to ban EVs? Then they wouldn't have anything left.
They would be able to use the old faithful
Oh, right.
covered wagons and horses.
Exactly.
You know, you can't run out of juice. Anyway, let's see what they actually. What are they talking? Where are they? Do they have a list?
Here we go.
There we go. So under Section 177 of the Clean Air Act, states must either adhere to federal emission standards or adopt California's more stringent guidelines. 17 states have historically followed California's regulations, but so far only Delaware, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington have announced that they'll enforce the Advanced Clean Cars 2 rule and prohibit the sale of new gasoline-powered vehicles. So does that mean you can't buy a car from a dealer in that? Or can you buy it from an external source and bring it into the state?
Well, the problem will probably be trying to register it in the state. I'm assuming they're not going to allow that.
But they don't talk about registration.
Well, they just talk about the sale. Yeah, you're right. So maybe you can.
Which is going to completely neuter sales of vehicles. Car dealerships are going to disappear from these 17 states.
Well, exactly. Plus other states, some states might follow suit. I don't think Wyoming will.
So the Secretary of the Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control of Delaware finalized regulations to adopt California's regulations on gas-powered vehicle ban. This serves as an amendment to Delaware's previously existing low-emission vehicle program, bringing it in line with the imposed Section 177 of the Clean Air Act. Maine, Maryland, these are all the states that are actually doing it. So it doesn't really matter. 17 states out of 50 are leaning into the no more ICE vehicles. Yikes! All right, folks. So get your cars now. Oh, wait. When is that actually going to kick in? 2035.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of time.
Yeah, states requires zero emission vehicles to represent 35% of new cars and light trucks by 2026. That's 2 years. So ICE vehicles are going to be going up in price. And then 68% by 2030, 2035, 5 years later, 100%. Yikes. All
That's
right.
going to be tough to manage.
Wyoming's going to build a wall.
Consumers don't want it. Yeah.
And make Americans pay for it. So Mitsubishi Mirage has a more responsive engine than Porsche Cayman, Car and Driver says. This is actually reported over at Jalopnik, but I think it's reported from Car and Driver by proxy. So the ubiquitous 0 to 60 test has become a standardized measure of vehicle performance chops among industry pros and car meat aficionados. But that singular measurement doesn't paint the full picture of a car's character. No. These rankings stem from striking discrepancies between 0 to 60 times and 5 to 60 times. Logan Carter put the article together. Mitsubishi Mirage has a more responsive engine than Porsche Cayman, according to Car and Driver. Dun, dun, dun. In a recent study, Car and Driver compared its vehicles 0 to 60 mile per hour times and 5 to 60 mile per hour times to determine which cars had the least difference between the two results and thus the most responsive powertrains and the reverse. So according to them, it says, despite holding the crown for slowest car on sale today, the 2017 Mitsubishi Mirage G4 actually completed the 5 to 60 test a tenth of a second faster than it completed the 0 to 60 mile per hour run, which that makes sense. It's already moving.
It does. It seemed odd, but then it made sense.
The 2018 Honda Odyssey matched the Mirage's Delta, making them the two most responsive powertrains that Car and Driver has tested, but the actual time each car took to reach 60 miles per hour varied greatly, with the Mirage posting a 0 to 60 of 12.8 seconds and a 5 to 60 of 12.7 seconds, while the Odyssey had 6.7 seconds and 6.6 seconds. So wait a minute. Wait. But then they're saying that the Mitsubishi Mirage was more responsive than the Porsche Cayman?
Yes, which is ridiculous.
Interesting. But the Odyssey was half the time of the Mirage, right?
Well,
did I read that wrong?
No, but the difference, they're looking at the difference between the 0 to 60 and the 5 to 60.
Right.
That's 0.1 second.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they bring in the Porsche. The Porsche Cayman T with 2-second difference between its 0 to 60 time 4.4 seconds and its 5 to 60 time of 6.4 seconds. So, wow. That's funny. After that is the 2020 BMW M235i xDrive Grand Coupe with a 1.8 second delta. That is actually amazing. So I guess it's gearing on the upper end. It loses a lot of its speed, but for what reason?
This is an interesting test that they ran.
Like a lot of torque from 0, but then its gearing just slows down. So let's see if that's what they actually say in here.
Yeah, I think it's the other way. I think it's like slow to get going, and then...
Yeah, once it gets going, it starts slowing down. Like, because it's 5 to 60 time is 6.4 seconds, but 0 to 60 is 4.4.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So it has like a ton of torque. I'm getting
mixed up on the... Yes.
Right? And when you stay on it, then it is going 0 to 60. But if it's already rolling at 5 and then you gun it to get to 60, it takes 6.4 seconds. So like whatever its gearing is, it has to be that, right? But they don't say what it is. Not all turbocharged perform poorly in the rolling start runs, though. There were 10 turbocharged models that had a delta of less than 0.3 of a second between the two test results. So that's what it is. The turbo just had to spool up for it to actually work, and that's what its slowdown was. Yeah. Interesting. So all of the cars that had the smallest delta between the tests were naturally aspirated, though, leading Car and Driver to conclude that the modern turbocharged engines still don't provide the same linear power curve that their natural aspirated counterparts have. Yeah, interesting. So there you go. Go buy a Mitsubishi Mirage so that you can get from 0 to 60 and 5 to 60 faster.
I mean, who knew?
It's the only thing that it can do, but that's okay. All right, folks, the last article for today is 25 cars most likely and 25 least likely to face future recalls. Who do you think is on there as number one?
Tesla.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm sure.
Before that, I might have said something like Jaguar. Not that they have necessarily a lot of recalls, but I know they've always been known to be kind of finicky.
Oh my gosh, really? The Porsche Taycan is the one that does it. So 25 cars most likely. It's over at autoblog.com. Greg Rossa is the author of this. And last year alone, NHTSA issued 300 recalls affecting... Look at you.
Look at number 2, 3, 6, and 7.
Yeah, I see. The entire lineup. Not so sexy. So... cars most likely to face recalls. Let's see. Vehicle Data Outfit IC Cars is out with an interesting new calculation. It looked at recall data from NHTSA and 300 recalls affecting 35 million cars. So what will next year bring? Porsche Taycan is the 21.9 times compared to the median. So 70.7 recalls expected in a 30-year lifetime. No, but who keeps their car? Oh, the car's 30-year lifetime, but not ownership.
Right, it could be multiple owners, yeah.
Yeah, so if anybody has a Tesla,
Anything.
you're screwed. Porsche Panamera. So Lucid Air, that's another luxury vehicle, like Lucid Air.
But do you find it interesting that there are a lot of EVs at the top of this?
Yeah, I don't know why, right? It couldn't be because they have, well, Porsche Taycan isn't.
Well, yeah.
Kia Telluride, Ford Maverick. This is their newest vehicle, isn't it? The Ford Maverick is the newest truck.
I think so.
Rivian R1S, recall. Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid, Ram 1500. So what are the ones that are...
Ford Maverick was around in 1970.
Yeah, I know, but it was stopped. And they just brought it back, like the Ranger. Right? Yeah, the Ranger had been stopped, and I think the Maverick was stopped. You'd have to look it up, but I don't know. Let me see. I don't know. I'd have to hunt it down. But anyway, so the car's least likely to face. Look at that.
Interesting.
Least likely to face future recalls. Mini convertible. A convertible. Least likely.
That's surprising.
I mean, you'd think that there'd be some burden on that convertible part of it, right?
Correct.
But even that, they must have it built like a brick shit house. Then yep. Lexus.
Well, what do you notice in the list? Like, what's the theme?
European cars.
I was thinking like luxury vehicles for the most part. Like, these are higher end vehicles, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Look at that, the Audi TTS.
But you're right, they're primarily European.
Maybe I'll just get an Audi TTS, and I don't need to have any backseat passengers. We can strap them to the hood and the roof.
We'll just make them go 2D to ride in the car.
Look at that Mazda MX-5 Miata. What is it with? How many
Why
of these?
Why with the convertibles?
Yeah,
yeah. Could be too. That doesn't make any sense.
Hold on a second. Yeah, I was like, one of these has to be a convertible too. I don't know. But all of the Audi TTs are on this list. Mercedes-Benz. That Mazda snuck in there. Number 7.
Yeah, that one kind of stands out.
Because the Mazda Miata, I wouldn't call it a luxury. Maybe the RF version of it.
No, but a lot of the things in the list look like they were. So, like Lexus, BMW, Mercedes.
The Mazda RF is only like a $30,000.
Well, that's a surprise on the list, I think.
Yeah, that one's a surprise for sure. But it's basically Mazda's version of the Audi. They look pretty close, but I mean they're two-door, they're coupes, they're coupes. Americanized as coupe. Anyway. So fascinating article. Definitely follow the link through ohmTown and go over to autoblog.com if you're interested in seeing what the 25 most likely and 25 least likely cars to face future recalls. Buy wisely. And if you've purchased a Tesla, you have chosen poorly. Oh, God. Yeah, Genesis GV70. That's another one. That's a luxury boat. Hold on. I have to pull this up. I'm going to do this. We have a couple more minutes. So yeah, the Ford Maverick 1970 to 1977, but it came back in 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a long gap in time.
It was unveiled on June 8th, 2021, and there is a 2024 model out right now. So its production years are 2021 to present. Its model years are 2022 to present. So it's brand new. Basically, it's a four-door extended cab version of like the Ranger, which is a smaller version of the F-150. It used to not be that way, but okay. Yeah, the old school F-150 is... You could put the old school F-150 in the bed of a current F-150. They're eclipsed entirely.
Interesting.
It would drive over the old school F-150 and the Ranger. Yeah. Anyway, that's it, folks. How about this? If you've bought any of these top 10 vehicles, thank you for stimulating the automotive economy. Yeah. Your car will be getting a future recall. Yeah. Congratulations. Overachiever. All right. Well, that's it, folks. We are going to jump into our pre-recall Porsche take-in and race down Main Street, zipping by the police and the artificial intelligence notifying the helicopters to come and track you down. And welcome back to FourWheelTech. So we'll refresh and see if we got any. Yeah, no, we didn't. We don't have too much new news. Yeah. We'll keep aggregating and see some interesting high-tech news for here in ohmTown. Thanks for hanging out. We've done all 4 of our shows today. If you're not familiar with ohmTown, each Saturday and Sunday we have 4 shows a day. But daily Monday, well, every day we have ohmTown Daily News Show at 8 p.m. And on Friday, Saturday and Sunday it's at 5 p.m. But then we also have Reality Hacker, Wanted, and Warcrafters on Saturday. And we have the Continuity Report, Technology Today, and this show, FourWheelTech, on Sundays. I am still working on Mix War to bring more attention, more fun, and listen to some good music here on Twitch and make it a competition. Everybody will get to mix some music and throw it up, and I will play it and we'll rate it, and winners will win each week. And then there will be other offline competitions as well. I'm getting it all worked out, but I want to put together a better show. I kind of rushed the announcement, but I am still working on it, and it will come live during ohmTown and Merewatt's Summer of Stream. So stick around. Till then, see you later. I am Merewatt, and all around is the sentient AI trying to keep me out of trouble.
Good night, ohmTown citizens. Thank you for joining us for FourWheelTech. It will be back next Sunday, but be sure to tune in tomorrow for ohmTown Daily.
See you soon. Come on, Summer of Stream. Don't forget to like, subscribe over on YouTube, download the podcast, follow us here on twitch.tv/ohmTown. Oh, and visit ohmTown.com, become a citizen. Bye-bye.